So this is the next module. This is mindset attitude module. We went through the fitness first. And hopefully you're all tried to implement any of the things that we learned in those first two, in that first module, about how to create a fitness plan for yourself, how to do the research to get yourself in a position, to make sure you're doing the right thing for yourself. So this is the next step. The next cornerstone for a healthy lifestyle is your mindset and your attitude. So it's pretty important to have a good attitude, because attitude is everything.
Does it matter I wasn't here before?
No.
No, I'll catch
It's all
up,
good.
yeah, okay.
You can learn any day of the week.
Okay. Attitude is everything.
Attitude is everything. If you've got a good one, keep it. Positive attitude is what keeps us rolling. As you'll see, and you all know, when you wake up and you have a good attitude, you have a good day. That's why I wake up every day, I put my feet on the floor, and I say, this is gonna be an awesome day. And I literally say that, and my wife gets mad at me because
She's still sleeping.
well, she's in the other room now sleeping because she's got back issues. But it's like I say it, and when you get regularly into having it keeps you a positive attitude. So you start the day. Like I said, I got stickers on my door. I get out of my bed, I set my feet down. There's the things to do for the day. First one is today's gonna be an awesome day. So having a positive attitude is tremendous. It gives you the power over your circumstances instead of your circumstances having power over you. So it is, and that's from pure happy life. Our lives are not determined by what happens to us, but how we react to what happens. Not by what life brings, but the attitude we bring to it. Positive attitude causes a chain reaction of positive thoughts, events, outcomes. It's a catalyst, a spark that creates extraordinary results. So again, choose wisely. Don't worry, be happy, right? People worry too much, and when you worry about everything, your attitude goes sour, goes to the south. So having an appropriate amount of worry is important, but don't let it overtake your whole body, because it'll overtake your attitude. So an attitude and a mindset. What can spoil a good attitude? We all know what some of the things that spoil your attitude when you wake up in the day. We'll no longer allow the negative things in my life to spoil the good things I have. Choose to be happy. Choose to be around people who are happy people. Choose to not be around people as often who are not so happy people. But the point is, you get to choose the way you go. Don't let your circumstances dictate to you. If you have that positive attitude, you always got to have glass half full attitude, you're going to be in a better position to live a happier life, more fulfilling. Again, spend all your time with negative people and you'll become just like them. So we all know people like that. We try to avoid them as much as you can. They're family sometimes, and you can't avoid them, but you gotta get, understand how that relationship works and how that affects your attitude and your mindset. Look at these other things that worry you: stress, no sleep, fear, worry, anxiety. All these things put stress in our lives. And we get to the stress. When we get to the stress module, come on, Angie, and grab a seat. When we get to the stress module, you'll see how the attitude mindset kind of commingles with stress. When you take care of one, you help the other. When you're high in stress, your attitude's going to be bad. When you get a good attitude, you're going to be lower in stress. So those two cornerstones really work hand in hand with each other. So money's a worry. A lot of people worry and stress a lot about money, right? So that can bring down your attitude as often and as quickly as anything else can. Your health is something that can spoil a good attitude. You're always worrying about your health. And we should be. That's one of the things we should be worrying about. Because if we're worrying about it, we're putting our mindset there. Put your gratitude where you're at with your attitude, and you have a better aptitude. You ever heard any of those types of things? They all kind of go together. So worrying about your health, but not just worrying about it, taking action is the best thing. People worry about having enough health insurance to cover their health. That's a big worry. A lot of people, like my children, don't always have enough health insurance to cover their needs. So health insurance is a worry. These are all things that you go through your life that can spoil your attitude. So what is a healthy mindset? We all want one of those. We want to be healthy. We want to know what mindset is. It's a series of self-beliefs people hold about themselves. Determine people's behaviors, your outlook, and your mental attitude. Believing you're either intelligent or unintelligent. People, this is important. People can have both a growth and a fixed mindset in different situations, and you'll learn a little bit about that. Knowing about these two mindsets could start thinking and reacting, you thinking and reacting in new ways. So, here's a fixed mindset. This is the people with the bad attitudes. Failure is the limit of my abilities. I'm either good at it or I'm not. My abilities are unchanging. I don't like to be challenged. You know, these people, they're out there. My potential is predetermined. I can't do nothing to make my life better. I'm set. That's what's going to happen. When I'm frustrated, I give up. And I stick to what I know. Now, these are people with limited range, limited mindset, and it's going to affect their attitude. Whereas you have a growth mindset. You can learn anything you want to. Challenges help you grow. Your effort and attitude determines your abilities. These are the mindset things that go through the head of some of the positive, growth-oriented mindset. Like the previous said, you could have a fixed mindset in one part of your life and a growth mindset in the other part. The good thing is to know the relationship between your mindset and how you feel, how your health is. Fixed mindset. Success comes from talent, not hard work. I'm either smart or dumb. I don't like challenges. If you see that, feel threatened. You know, these are all things that limit your attitude, limit your mindset. Whereas a growth mindset comes from effort. You can grow your intelligence. You embrace challenges. Feedback helps you grow. If you succeed, you're inspired. That is the key to a mindset. It's to not dwell on the negative, but to celebrate the positive. Keep calm and pamper yourself. Nothing is better for your attitude than pamper yourself. Go out and do something for yourself, not for anybody else. You'll always feel better. Whatever it may be that you like to do, pamper yourself. Whatever it is. Different for many people. I like to go out and have a nice dinner and pamper myself every now and then. That makes me happy. I don't need to go crazy places around the world to be happy. So here's something. This is a perfect example of somebody that took a bad situation, turned it into a good situation. Michael Mailer's story. I'm going to send you all this copy of this later on. Maybe this will work. Maybe it won't. It's a quick little video. I'm learning how to do this stuff as we go here, but there is a little video here. Let's see if it loads. There's no fun. This is a gentleman. All right. He was, needless to say, a little bit overweight. 586 pounds.
Wow.
And he wasn't that old. He had a 74-inch waist. 74-inch waist. So this is the story. This is about what he did when he found out he had to do something to change his life. He was so overweight, it made it difficult for him to move even a couple steps. Moving out of breath, walking just 1 yard. Okay, can that work? Let's get off of that now. See if it works again. There we go. Technology. All right. Go right past that. So here he was at the attitude. This is the one. Oh, sorry about that. This is what he looked like at the beginning of his journey. Again, he was 350 pounds, or he dropped 350 pounds. He started at 586 pounds. He went to the doctor. He said, "What can I do?" His blood pressure was through the roof. All his markers were really unhealthy. He was big. He ate 6 to 8 bread rolls for breakfast with marmalade, Nutella, all kinds of cold cuts. He ate very poorly. He could, like I said, he couldn't walk without losing his breath. He felt trapped in his body at home. He was afraid to go out. There are people that are like that. He knew he had to change his life because his blood pressure was through the roof and he didn't want to die. His testosterone was almost zero, so he didn't have the ability to build muscle. He didn't have the strength or the attitude because his testosterone was through the floor based on something he found out about his health history. He went for bariatric surgery because he was the type of person that was a classic candidate for bariatric surgery. He was going to die. You see the show that's on TV, the 1,000-pound sisters, isn't it? Right. Those are people at the very high end of the poor health scale. So this guy had what they called a bariatric strap. They didn't cut his stomach in half. They just wrapped his belly with a strap to make it less volume in his belly. So this was a guy who had to stop eating. If your belly's not big, you can't eat so much. it's not gonna go in, right? So that started him on his journey. So, okay, they put this belly strap on. He was able to lose 55 pounds pretty quick. But then he found he hit a wall. What happens when you hit a wall? People say, what am I doing? The surgery didn't work. Life is over. His attitude was bad. So he hadn't yet come to that changing point in his life where his attitude could change.
Wow.
So he went in for a medical evaluation, did a scan, found out he had a tumor on his thyroid. So this was messing up all his blood chemistry. So he had to go in and have surgery to remove that tumor, which now would allow his testosterone level to go up, his progesterone and his other things to go down, get in line. So he was then able to get fit and healthy. You could work your Gucci off and try to get healthy, but if your body's not going coordinating along with you, if your hormones are out of whack, such as his were, he's fighting a losing battle. Once you get those unlocked, so people who have difficulty in different ways have to do that. So they took that, they went into the surgery, located the tumor, and pulled it out. So this health shock pushed him to need to take weight loss. Led him to go to the gym 6 times a week for 3 hours a day.
Wow.
After that, the true weight loss journey began and continued. At the start, I did a weight training routine for 2 hours a day, and went on 2 hours of cardio after. Picture it after drastic weight loss. By working out 6 times a week and switched to a vegan diet, he managed to overhaul his lifestyle and become from supersized to super fit. Since he had his surgery, his portion sizes were smaller. The blood tests were taken to prove that he was doing the right thing for himself. He found out a lot of things along the way. This is what he looked like. And
Yeah, I was gonna ask you what happened to the skin.
It is a blessing and a not so much of a blessing to lose too much weight too fast. He went at it so hard. He lost so much weight so fast, his skin wasn't able to compensate. People who drop just 1-2 pounds a month are able to have their skin will remodel and slowly shrink as you go. If you drop it really fast, you have the bariatric surgery, they're all like this. That could be a dangerous health issue in itself, removing that skin, and there are people who have serious consequences. But he was gonna die if he didn't do something, so he chose to do the bariatric, the more advanced stage, and found out, and so he's healthier. He's a healthy looking man, right?
Yeah.
Look what he eats: porridge with 40 grams of whey and berries for breakfast, rice with chicken and vegetables for lunch, an apple or protein bar for a snack, 2 slices of whole grain bread, and tuna or salmon with green vegetables, and a protein shake for dinner or after dinner before bed. Once he started to lose weight, he became more optimistic. His attitude improved. Then his whole mindset towards health improved, and other parts of his life improved as well. So it just took one little trigger for him, his health scare. He found out that he had health problems, that he was able to change his life. Now that's a drastic, and most people aren't at that. But that's just a perfect example of, here he is and his girlfriend in the same size pants he
Got
has.
a girlfriend.
So, I mean, it doesn't even look like the same gentleman. And we're not talking years, we're talking like a year and a half. This whole journey for him took.
Wow.
That was too much, too fast for most people, but he had to. So, it gives you a good idea about motivation and your attitude. If he had a sour attitude along the way, he wouldn't have been so successful. So it's important to have that good attitude. Motivation and to dictate your results in all aspects of your life, whether it be cutting the grass. I love to cut the grass, so I have a good attitude about it. But if you don't like something like swabbing the deck, cleaning the floor, whatever, you're not gonna have a good attitude. You're probably not gonna do a good job at it either, right? So attitude, motivation dictate your results. Navigate, so this is part of what we're doing. We're navigating your fears and using your personality traits to optimize your efforts by minimizing distractions. Once you accomplish this, you navigate your fears. You use your personality and the things you're good at to help you change your life and optimize your efforts. You're gonna be way ahead of the game. You're gonna find that lifestyle that we're all aiming for. So again, fear of roadblocks, fear of failure, health we talked about, financial worries, family approval acceptance. How many people, oh, my parent, my family, they won't come around me, they don't approve of what I do with this or that. I won't take care of myself. There's all things that affect people's attitudes and their mindsets. Fear is still the number one cause of inaction. It's driven by your past failures and your unknown future. If you've done things and you failed in the past, you think, I'm going to do it again, I'm going to fail again. So that is the fear that we have, that doesn't matter what I do, I'm not going to be successful. So if you have that and you let that take over your attitude and set your mindset up for loss, you're not going to be successful. So you have to get by that. So my solution is to flip the script on your fears by creating a new paradigm. And that new paradigm is attitude is everything. Even if it's something going on in your life, you gotta say, look at the positive. Look at the good things I have in my life. Look at the things I've accomplished in my life. You start doing a quick self-evaluation of the positive things in your life, you're gonna find your mood improves and everything's gonna change. Again, your attitude is important, so choose wisely. This is the key. This is the thing that I like to anchor in everything that I find difficult. Identify a moment in your life when you felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. One thing, birth of a kid, kids graduating, where you feel really good. Maybe it's yourself. You went and you learned how to work on an exercise bike and you feel comfortable about doing it. It's a sense of accomplishment. Fears that people won't do. Simple little things. So you think about something that you've done that's successful. For me, when I got on the fire department and became a public servant, was a very proud moment in my life because I found my niche. I found what I wanted to do, and I was happy about it. So I took that mental attitude, how I felt, and when something comes up, I go back to that. I said, man, just remember the day you walked in the fire department, were sworn in, how proud you were for what you were accomplished. That will improve your mood. So you take that sense, that mindset, and you master that. That is the key for mindset mastery. In other words, you want to be able to relive that at any moment by just sitting down and thinking, going through, closing your eyes, even thinking about how you felt that day. Again, maybe it was connected to a family milestone or a physical accomplishment. Maybe you walked your first 10K, and that's an accomplishment. Maybe you started your walking program, which we're coming up. But you need to taste it, to smell it, and appreciate the experience. To really anchor that experience into whatever it is you're doing, whatever you accomplish. When I play softball and I'm coming up to the plate, I think about an outcome of a game where it was a good outcome. I got a good hit, whatever it did, helped our team win the game. So that helps me when I come up to the plate every time. I dig into that mindset. How did I feel when I hit that home run? How did I feel when we won the game? And I go back, take myself back to that place whenever I need to. Don't you want to relive the joy of that accomplishment over and over again? By practicing it, by going through it over your mind, you're able to bring it up like this. You can take your mindset from bad to boom, think about that, boom, it takes you right to a happy place. And you'll improve your mindset like this. The better you do, it's just like any exercise. The more you do it, the better you get at it. People who, professional sports, you wonder why they come up to the plate and you do their, say the batters, they come up to a certain routine. They're getting their mind in a certain way. Basketball players come up and they're doing a foul shot, they have a certain routine. They're doing that to get their mind in the right place for success. They're doing that in their head. They're walking themselves through it. That's why it takes so much time sometimes to do that. Whatever you believe you can achieve, so you gotta believe that you're gonna be successful from the get-go, and you'll be successful. Remember the now famous line from Forrest Gump. Stupid is what stupid does. If we keep repeating unsupportive patterns and make poor decisions, we'll continue to get the same poor results and failures. Bottom line, folks, bottom line, stop repeating bad habits. And we're going to get to that with the worksheets coming up. So how do we develop that mindset and keep that positive attitude? We start building that stronger connection between the positive experiences in our lives. Stop reinforcing unsupportive habits and dwelling on what you perceive are failures. Choose a route, surround yourself with happy people, and distance yourself from mood-killing negative people with bad attitudes. That will make a big difference. Start rewarding. This is the key. Get that mindset, you get yourself into it, you have a success, reward yourself each and every time. Build that reward into whatever accomplishment you're aiming for. And utilize tool trackers like this to track your habits and scalable habits. So if it is you've started your walking program, which hopefully you've all started walking regularly, and you hit the first 20 minutes, there and back, so 40 minutes, boom, that's a great sense of accomplishment. You maybe weren't able to do that in the past for whatever the reason. Give yourself a reward of some type. It not mean you're going out for a cheesecake, which I would seldom do, but find some reward that you like. Maybe it's you go to a movie. Maybe it's you go out for a nice healthy dinner rather than an unhealthy dinner. Whatever it is, if you attach the reward to the accomplishment, to the goal, you're more apt to repeat it over and over again. You're gonna entrench that new activity into a habit. And once it becomes routine and it's a habit, you're well on your way. You'll then become unstoppable. Habit tracker worksheet and a coaching worksheet. I have copies for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 8 copies here. Look at that. And pass that on, pass it down. I use these, and I recommend these, and I also have a blank one. Once you pass the blank one out, you went all around here. I brought 8. There's 8 of us. I just need.
Good number.
Good number.
Psychic.
You talked about routines, habits, and rituals. This is the tools that help you start these new routines, rituals, and habits. They're simple things. Place this wherever you want, your refrigerator, your back door, out where you put your keys to your car, and say whatever your habits are. These are just something that I put down. Drink 8 glasses of water every day. All right, you got 31 days a month. You drink 8 glasses, you check that box off. You go through the whole month. These are tracking good habits. These are all good habits. If you go through the motion of looking at it, reading it, completing it, you're gonna feel the satisfaction for doing it. So get used to putting that together. Get used to attaching it. Daily yoga practice if that's what you're doing. Daily workout. Healthy breakfast. No alcohol. Look after myself. That's that pampering yourself. Do something good for yourself. Whatever it may be. These are simple tracker tools that you can use. And I gave you a blank one so you can put in whatever it is that you're on your goals and start using them. And again, I will email these all to you so you'll have them as well. So this is a simple tool. And the next part of this, when we get to this coming around the second time, I've got a lot more tools, but I wanted to share these simple tools to help you feel that sense of accomplishment so that you can improve your attitude and your mindset. It's simple. Just fill out one day at a time. Healthy breakfast. If you didn't have a healthy breakfast that day, don't check it off. Coaching worksheets, the next one. To pass these ones on. This is where you build some accountability into yourself as well. You have a goal. Maybe it is lose 10 pounds. That's my goal, whatever it may be. Still, it is the number one goal people go to the gym for is to lose weight, so let's just put it there. Lose 10 pounds. So now, what is it that you have to stop doing to help you lose your 10 pounds? Put down 3 items. No cheesecake for dessert for me, okay? No pasta for a week. Whatever it may be, put it down. What do you need to do less of? Worrying about things. Things are all going to affect your attitude, right? Stop worrying about this. Whatever these things are, you put it out. You understand what your rituals are and your habits. We went through that worksheet previously where you can write down what your habits are. What are good health habits? What are bad habits? What do you need to keep doing that you're doing that supporting your weight loss? Working out 5 days a week, walking program. Working out, walking program, eating a healthy meal, right? Do more of things you want to do a little bit more of. Maybe exercise 5-10 minutes more per week. Do more of and what you need to start doing. So these are a track and a coaching worksheet that you can fill out for yourself to give you that you can look at it on a regular basis. There's 3 pieces of paper, even the 2. You fill out your goals and you put down and you look at that. Okay, this is my main goal for my lifestyle. It could be nutrition, right? Your goal could be all about nutrition. Eat healthier. Stop doing. We'll get to that in the nutrition module. It could be fitness. What do you need to do? Fitness oriented. Start a weight training program and put down those 3 goals. So these are the trackers. These are the tools that you can use to help yourself to build that lifestyle so that it becomes a routine, not just something you do. You take a habit, you take a routine, you work them together to become a ritual. And now that you're doing it on a regular basis, you don't need a sheet anymore because you're gonna feel guilty when you don't do it. Who has something they do that they feel guilty when they don't do it? Everybody has one or 2 things.
All the time.
Yeah. If I don't exercise and I feel like a slug, I'm gonna feel guilty about it.
Right.
So because it becomes a ritual, and when you don't do something, that when you've got control over something. When you have that kind of emotional response to whatever it may be, you've made it. So the mindset solution is to build your first new attitude habits. Celebrate your accomplishments with small gestures or rewards. So that is the first thing. That is part of this cornerstone, is to start putting small rewards to celebrate your accomplishments, not your failures. We're not looking at failure. We're going to be positive people. So we're going to celebrate our celebrations for our goals that we've met or that we're working towards. That is the first part of this cornerstone. The fitness was build that fitness plan, start your walking program. Now we're on the mindset. Celebrate accomplishments with small rewards, whatever it may be. So find out something to reward. Maybe I'm gonna go buy a book, buy a new pair of shoes, whatever it may be, to help you out. But if you attach those rewards, you're gonna start building that lifestyle. It's attitude, it's everything. First new attitude habit, start that walking program, right? That's an option. If you haven't started yet, you've all got the walking program. First 30 days, start walking at 5 minutes, turn around, go home, check the box. Walking program on your sheet. Go 30 days, finish all 30 days on that walking program. Give yourself a big reward at that point because now you made 30 days. Some people make something an entrenched habit in as little as 3 or 4 days. You heard, it takes 3 weeks to a month. It's different with everybody to make a habit stick. You find more success when you tie an emotional aspect to that. If you're trying to walk to get healthier because I want to be able to play with grandkids, or I want to go for this vacation out in the desert and walk for 30 days. No, I'm just to do something that you never thought you could do before. If that is your goal, then you want to celebrate that. This is the emotional tie that you're putting to whatever it is. Once you get those ties, those emotional aspects to it, you're going to be way more successful. And your attitude's going to improve tremendously for doing it. So start that walking program. I couldn't think of the best place to start in your fitness program is the walking program. The best thing to start in your mindset, your better attitude, it's the same thing. Start that walking program. You're going to feel better about yourself if you're not doing it now by starting a walking program. If you're doing way more than that, pick something else. It could be start eating a healthier breakfast. Because when we get to the nutrition, we'll talk about what are the top best things to do to start creating a healthier nutritional plan. And that's in the next module. But we've got some ground to cover here before you get to there. Like I said, these things all work on each other. The stress and mindset work together. Fitness and nutrition kind of work together. You gotta have better nutrition to increase your fitness program. You gotta have a better attitude to help you manage your stress. So they all kind of work together. So that's why I've left this program the way it is so that it'll build upon itself. And when we're all done with this program, you're gonna have a good basis for what a good healthy lifestyle is. And then we can dig in deeper into the fitness. We can dig deeper into the mindset. We can dig deeper into the nutrition and deeper into the stress. Because the stress is I leave it last, not because it's the least important, but I think it's as important as any other one, but we can't do them all. So stress is so important. When we learn about what stress does to us and the negative effects stress causes on our lives, you'll wonder why you get out of bed every day because there's so much stress. But we're so strong, we're able to manage our stress. So that's why that module is called managing stress. Is to be able to manage the stresses in your life, the good and the bad, to give you a healthier lifestyle. So it's important. It's important. Attach that sense of accomplishment with each day. Give yourself that simple reward. I want to leave you with that because it is so important. Personality and traits. And we talked about the first part, attitude and mindset. Now, how are we going to bring your personality into this? Now, we're all thinking everybody's the same, right? Everybody should have a good attitude, but guess what? We don't all have the same personality. We don't have all the same traits. So personality traits. Where some people are more outgoing, some people not so much. Some people like to work in big groups, some people like to work alone. These are all personality traits that you can use to your advantage more than you think if you plan correctly. Go back to those routines, habits, and rituals that we talked about, that worksheet. If you wrote them down, you can go back and say, yeah, I do this. I get up every morning and I'm not prepared to have a healthy breakfast because you didn't prepare the night before. You didn't have a meal plan. You had no idea what you're going to eat. So these are all, that's a bad habit. You want to get a better habit. So planning ahead helps you to establish those better habits. So if you review those lists of that worksheet on routines and habits, you're going to find out what you're good at. You say, oh, I'm good. I exercise regularly. What do I do to make sure I exercise every day? There's some things in there that are personal to you that you can use to your advantage in other aspects of your life. Pick one of those best routines and identify the motivation, how it makes you feel. If it's, when I'm done with my exercise classes, I feel way better than when I started. So I give myself a reward, hey, woo, whatever it may be, but that carries over, and I know what it does. I know what I have to do to keep exercising. I did. I became a fitness instructor, because guess what? I got to exercise every day. I found a simple way. I'm used to routines. I worked in the fire service every third day. We went to the fire station. We did our shift. Every shift before, I came in early and worked out, and a shift after I worked out. So I got my work exercises in that. Well, I didn't work there anymore, so I had to change my routine. So how am I going to exercise more? Start teaching it. So that's part of the reason that motivated me to become a fitness instructor, is to help me keep myself fitter. And it works for some people, not for everybody. So, and then use that same motivation, emotional connection, for more modifying habits that don't support poor outcomes. So don't support those poor outcomes. I can use that same motivation I have for my fitness to keep me healthy and say, how am I going to keep me motivated? So guess what I do? I review stories like Michael Mayer's on a regular basis. I got 100 of these things stacked up. Different stories about people, motivational stories to keep me motivated. I review one. There's just a story on TV about this young kid with cancer the other day. Everybody saw it, right? Mm-hmm. And the battle he's gone through. When you see stories like that, you see what motivates people to get up the next day and keep living on, it makes you feel better. So start finding, I take that same motivation that I learned from exercise and I put it towards my attitude. Okay, I like regular routines, so I regularly look at these stories. I go to certain websites on a regular basis that are uplifting stories that I can read. I get uplifting quotes sent to my phone every day. So I pick up, there's a quote. Positive attitude quotes that come to my phone. These are things that help me, that I found help me keep that attitude going. And it's all based on the same motivation that I have for fitness. So what's next in the mindset mastery? When we come back 2 weeks on the Zoom, we'll review routines, habits, and rituals. I want you to go back over those documents that you had, and I'll send it to you again in case you didn't have it, to start listing what your routines are, your good routines, your bad routines, what motivates you to these routines, how can you change those routines? And we'll put some other tools such as these in there to help you start the process, to start building that mindset, that happier mindset. Attitude is everything, so that you'll be able to improve that aspect of your life, improve that cornerstone. We're gonna explore some of those some tools for the long term. These things, these tools like this are all short term. They help you get going. What's the long term? What could you do long term to keep you positively motivated, keep you healthy, keep you eating good, keep the stress level go? What do you have available to you that could do that?
Both pictures.
Social groups, my PrimeFITTlife website group, my Facebook group, PrimeFITTlife. I put that together because I wanted to have a place where people can go that are looking for a little motivation. I take some of those motivational things and I post it on my Facebook group. I'm just starting an Instagram group because some people don't do Facebook, but they do Instagram. Whatever you may be. It's just a tool. It's just a tool that you can use. Find whatever works for you. Trying to build a collaborative, a group of people that are like-minded, you're more apt to stick with it. You're not going to, you go to a Weight Watchers group for those who did that stuff. Why? Because they're around other people with the same motivation, same goal. You know, you go to an exercise class because those people all want the same thing you want. You know, if you go to a painter's group or a pottery class, because all those people want to do the same thing, and you all help each other out, motivate each other. So find a way to get around more people with the same mindset that you have, whatever it may be. There's tons of groups out there. There's meetup groups. There's things done here in the center that you can do that. There's the walking group here. There's all kinds of things that you can use to help you long term. And that's the important part, to make it a ritual, to make it a long-term goal so it becomes second nature. You know, you put your shoes on every day, you've done it so many times, you don't leave the house without them, right? It's a ritual, because you know if you don't, and it's wintertime, you're not going to have a good outcome. So these are the things, you know, you become ritualistic. You know, we're so much guided by our habits, good and bad. And those routines are so important. If you set up a new routine, it'll become a new habit. You know, once that habit is entrenched enough, it'll become a ritual. So just think about, you know, what routine or what habit you want to start, and then create a routine for it. If it's eating a healthier breakfast, the night before you put things on your counter that's going to remind you when you get up, this is what I'm making for breakfast. It's a healthier breakfast. I'm not going to shove it aside, grab the bacon and eggs. You know, it's setting that routine up, whatever it may be. Some people take their exercise shoes, put them by the door to remind them they got to exercise. Whatever the things are, we have all those routines that guide our life and control our life more than you think. Once you start thinking about it, you know, what causes you to do what you have to do, you delve into those reasons why, you find out the successful routines, and then you want to emulate those in the other parts of your life. So be creating similar type of routines. Once we do that, you won't need me anymore. You'll be teaching classes like this all by yourself. So that was module 3. Let me answer some questions. I'm sure you have maybe 1 or 2 questions about the topic. Yes.
I'm a little curious. I mean, I'm going at my pace. If it's too personal, you don't have to. Has anyone started the walking program?
I walk every day.
I'm sorry?
I walk every day. I don't have to start.
I know, I'm just
Does anybody start?
with the group.
Which one? The one that is
Just
in-
walking
I gave
10
you.
minutes every
I gave you the
day.
walking program that's in it. That was in the
You
class.
started?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but this is important to me. I wanna know where I am with you guys. You know, compare.
Think about this, Gene.
I know.
What am I going to tell you?
You gotta do your own program.
You got to do it yourself. Don't rely on other people for motivation. You have to be internally motivated. So you got to pick that goal. You got to put that emotional tie to it. You got to say, I'm going to do it for whatever the reason is, and you do it. And don't worry about it if you're not doing it, or if somebody else is or not. Maybe they're doing more because they're advanced. Maybe they're not able to because whatever. It's just about in yourself. You know,
Yeah, cause I got sick and then, you know,
Yeah, so.
then I didn't move and I'm just laying like a nothing. And now I'm trying to read.
Well, that's where, if you had a regular routine of reading stories like this, singing emotional quotes and uplifting things in your life,
I just gotta do it.
it's gonna get you off that couch. It's gonna, you know, I can do this, you know. So get in a routine. That's a routine, and I started that helps me in my attitude is by just doing it, finding these stories. There's all kinds of places you can find these stories.
There's only 10 minutes out of your day, 10 minutes, and still,
It's hard to do.
yes.
Because how many years have you not done it? Many, right? So it's starting a new habit. You've got, that's why you don't wanna go too hard, too soon, too fast. You know, you wanna just baby steps here.
Right, which is good.
Just take one 5-minute walk, turn around, come home. You'll feel good. I did it. I got accomplished it. I got a 5-minute walk in. And I got a 6-minute, 7-minute, 10 minutes. And boom, it starts building up. And as the accomplishments go, you start building. Your attitude goes up, your mindset gets better.
Because then
And you're able to
myeloma,
go.
whatever, in the brain, whatever it's called, it gets you.
Your amygdala?
The what?
Your amygdala?
No, it's the positive things in your brain, I forgot what it's called, whatever. But, yeah, I'm just, like as I say, you always try and say, well, where am I compared, but it's not a good idea.
You shouldn't compare yourself. It's all about looking in the mirror and being happy with the person you see.
Don't like it.
Well, then you have to, I'm gonna change it. This class will give you the outline and guidelines. You still gotta do the work. You gotta be willing to make the change. Otherwise, you're gonna say, I'm out of here. You know what I mean? It's all about internal motivation. And I'm just trying to give you tools to help you make that internal motivation easier.
Appreciate that.
So that you can keep it going. Because it's, attitude is everything.
Everybody's journey.
I had that slide I showed last week about, on the Zoom class about, it's everybody's journey. Nobody's walking in your shoes. Everybody has their own journey. And, the mindset is an important part of that journey, is creating that attitude that supports your mindset that you're gonna be improving. You're not gonna be a negative person. I'm gonna try to keep improving. Even if it's, you have good days, you have bad days, and everybody does. And that's fine. Just know you get back up tomorrow, trying again. Get that up tomorrow again. And whatever it is, what's on my list, And by the time we're done with this program, you have steps to help you start a fitness program, keep your mindset good, eat better, relieve your stress. Boom, 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 boom. You keep filling those buckets up with new bricks, with new attitudes, and building that building up. Building your lifestyle up to support you. It's a slow process because it took us a long time to get where we're at.
For sure.
I'm fitter now than when I retired because I was able to work out every day now when I teach classes. So guess what? My fitness checked. It's better. I found a way to do that by teaching classes. So boom, my fitness is better. Diet, I'm still working on that. I have my good days, my bad days. I'm creating tools. I talked about it in the other class that you were in about the meal prep days, and now I've got the freezer meal days, which is really good, helping me improve my overall nutrition. I have my plan for next day. I'm taking that little thing out of the freezer. That's my meal. That's my dinner for today, and it's gonna go in a pot and heat up, and it's done. I've prepared to eat better. You have to prepare to do everything.
You don't allow for any other things.
Well, stuff happens, as they say. Guess what? You're going to the fast food, but don't fight yourself. Give yourself better choices. So you don't have to go that route. It's all about setting that plan up in all aspects of this. Just planning. Plan to succeed.
You
Get a better chance.
I find these lists here really interesting and I think very helpful. The one I'm confused about a little bit is look after yourself. Seems like if you're doing
that means
other things here,
different
you're-
from many people. To
you're
me, I
looking
look
after
at myself is pampering myself. Doing something that's supportive. Taking Sundays off and spending it with family, so I'm not worrying about work, which is really hard because people call me. Taking
Give
care of
yourself a
myself,
treat.
making sure you're showering regularly, your personal hygiene's all good, you're seeing your doctor. It all falls under the umbrella of taking care of yourself. It means a little bit to different people.
So it could be something completely different depending what day of the week it is.
Right, absolutely right. But check it off. You took care of yourself. You did one thing for yourself that day. To help you live a better lifestyle. Again, the lifestyle is what we're all aiming for, folks. Exercising, these are all little parts. They're nothing without them all working together and supporting you and lifting you all the way up. If you're too much heavy on the exercise and you're not on the nutrition, guess what? You're gonna be off balance. If you're too stressed out, your attitude's not so good, you're gonna be out of balance. You wanna be lifting everything up at a nice even keel. So you've gotta take care of all the aspects at the same time. You can't just freewheel. So you just fill in whatever is on your goal sheet, you know, from your goals and dreams list that we had. Put one in there, whatever it is, you know, whatever is a goal that you want accomplished in the next year. I like to work on 12-month cycles myself. I don't want to say I want to lose this amount of weight by this date. No, I want to get healthier, and the weight will help itself. You know, the way I look at it, people with weight loss, everyone says, I had a friend of mine's wife said, Tim, I got a wedding to go to. In June, I need to lose 40 pounds. I said, unless you're willing to stitch your mouth closed, it ain't happening. She got really mad and hung up the phone. Reality check. You know, we're talking 2 months, she wants to lose 35 pounds. It ain't gonna happen. You're not gonna be healthy. I'm not gonna be anything part of that. I'll help you get healthier and your weight will get better. It'll normalize itself. Because that's the way to do it. I don't like working with people that have unrealistic, that's an unrealistic expectation.
Yeah.
You know, and people see TV and they see the guy's weight loss story, they think, he did that, you know, I could do that. But that was a super motivated guy with the bad health care and had an opportunity to take care of it and really dove into it. Not everybody's like that. These stories are 1-2% of the population. They're not out there. There are not a lot of them. But guess what? When you see that, you know, hey, he can do it, I can do it. You know, this kid got over this illness. I should feel so bad about myself in my life. You know, all these things just kind of help you. You know, but yeah, whatever your goals are, these tools are just there. These are short-term tools to help you start and establish that lifestyle that's going to be better for you. Because who's living their exact lifestyle they want to live? Nobody. Nobody I know is 100% happy in all aspects of their life. You know, so, but I'm sure a lot happier than I was 7 years ago when I retired.
Oh, nice, that's nice to hear.
My life's better.
Good.
Less stress from the fire service work, less stress from dealing with people want you to come and clean their ears out and all kinds of crazy things. You hear it on TV, it's true stuff.
Firemen, yeah.
Oh, yeah, getting my cat out of the tree has gone a lot different nowadays. It's become a lot more personal. And, you know, so didn't have any of that. My stress level went way down the day I retired. It was such a weight off my shoulder because living in that job was very stressful.
Did you have a plan? You had a plan when you retired, right?
I did. I spent 3 years to fix up my house, put an addition on my house, got my house all where I wanted it, get everything good. Then I said, all right, next, go back to work. And I started teaching classes. For 3 years I didn't, and then I went back to work. And so for the last 5 years I've been teaching classes and getting into this part of my business. That was my plan.
Good.
You know. So, any other questions?
Have you trademarked that PrimeFITTlife?
I have a registered with the state. You know, yeah.
It seems like somebody else might like to use
There's
that.
PrimeFit out there. You know, there wasn't PrimeFit with one T,
No.
but I didn't want one T. I wanted 2 T's because it has to do with my matrix functional. You know, frequency, intensity, type, and time of exercise is 2 T's. So PrimeFIT it worked out perfect when I did that matrix. I go, that's the name of my company right there.
Good.
Prime and Fit, you know, and that's how I came up with it. And then it was like, okay, I could get PrimeFITT.com, somebody had it, so I went, well, what am I trying to accomplish? A better life, PrimeFITTlife. So then my website's PrimeFITTlife because I couldn't get PrimeFITTlife, but it worked better. It just happened to work better. So.
Huh.
And my brother-in-law, who was a commercial artist, did the logo for me.
Oh, nice.
So, you know, yeah, it's building a health-based lifestyle. This is my way. Is
Beautiful.
slow. Keep chugging along, folks. Keep chugging along. Any other questions? If you need personal questions answered about any of the stuff, give me a call.
Okay.
Send me an email. I'd be more than happy to talk with you at any time. With something
Thank you
on a
so
personal
much.
basis. I will send the email with the link to the story, with those documents.
Okay.
I did it blue so it would look good on there, but I have them in white background so it's not all that darkness. Yeah. So, I thought it was appropriate. Again, I'm trying to make this class not too techy, you know, not as advanced as the other class was. That's why I'm keeping it. There's only 4 topics, 4 cornerstones, and there's 4 subtopics with each one. So that's 16 things. It's all I'm trying to really get across, to give you that base, that foundation, so then you know, hey, I need to explore more on this or on that, and I'll start providing more in the Facebook group for nutrition. You know, I'll put a recipe that I know would work, so that I've tried. Anything I put on there is something that I do or tried and like. I don't put anything out there that I don't fully believe in 100% and I live by, because those are phony people in my book. I don't just market things for the sake of it, because it doesn't work. All right, if that is all, nobody ate their bananas, a couple ate your bananas. Take your banana with you, gotta have that potassium and magnesium
Thank you so
in your body.
much.
And we will see you in the Zoom call in a couple weeks.
Okay.
And if you've not seen it, who's watched the replays of my Zooms? Yeah? Because I noticed I had like 15 watches from my 2 weeks ago. So did somebody watch it 12 times? Or
So you have an email address, and you'll send us links to that number.
Well, when he sends it, you'll have it.
yes, you're registered with Jennifer.
Yeah.
She will send you the link for the Zoom call
Oh, okay.
the day before, and I send it as well, just in case it doesn't go through to one. And it'll have some, tell you the time and place. But it's great if you can be there. If not, you can watch the replay, because then I post the replay to my
You record
YouTube
it, yeah.
channel. I record it to my YouTube channel and into the website too. So you can find that replay later on.
Thanks.
And it's good to go over it a couple, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 times.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Obviously, from what I'm hearing, you've had this class
Oh, boy.
before. This is not the first one.
I had a more in-depth class that Gene went through, which helped me develop this class.
Was that last week, last month?
No, that was last year.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
It was a whole year. It was a long process.
okay.
It was a month, it was a weekly Zoom call.
Very intense.
It was a lot more information. I found out it was too much. Too much information that people were like, I got that stressful lady there, you know, too much. So I reduced it to just, it was the same 4 cornerstones, but just talk about 4 topics for each. Fitness was the plan, the walking program. Then we'll get into exercise, we'll get into strength training and flexibility in the next part when we go into fitness. So that's your 4 components of fitness. There's 4 components of this, we just went through 2. There's 4 with nutrition, there's 4 with stress. It gives you a good base of how you can help balance your lifestyle and create it without getting in over your head. Now, I'm a full believer in doer, Wires, and Howards. She knows what I'm talking about. You want to be a Howard, not Ronnie Howard. You want to be a doers are people who go to class and do what the guy tells them to do. Okay? Then there's the Wires, want to know why you're telling me to do that. Then there's the Howards who want to know, how is it helping me when I do this because you told me? So that's the deeper person who wants to get into the deepness. Like, I've got podcasts that I listen to on all these aspects that go really deep into it, because that's something I'm interested in. There's longevity lifestyle podcasts that really get into down to the nutritional levels of everything, long-term longevity, how to live longer. And the therapies that are out there that are coming to make everybody able to live to be 120 years old, it's not too far off. They say we're within the next generation of people, 200 years is feasible. Feasible. Now it's going to happen, but it's feasible because they're able to slow down the destruction of your telomeres and when your cells replicate and they get in that strand and there's a little tail on the bottom, these telomeres, and they shorten every time that they replicate. And your cells replicate pretty often. So the longer you live, the more times it's replicated. So when that telomere gets all the way short, because every time it's shorter and shorter, then you start having cells duplicating incorrectly, and then you get more cancers, you get more, all kinds of health issues. That they're able to slow down and actually reverse that now, and actually let your telomeres and your cells get healthier as you get older. So they're saying, well, all these things that people are dying from now are not going to be what people die from the next generation. It's too late for us, but we can live longer. That's where we're trying to build that health span. We're trying to get that lifespan is here. Maybe we can add a year or 2 or maybe one, but we can make that health part of it longer, so that you can live healthier longer instead of that decline that we don't want to stay away from.
Yeah.
So we're working on increasing our health span, making us healthier, and there's so much information out there. If you're a Howard and you want to know how this stuff works, I can steer things your way, and I throw some dabs in my Facebook group. I have another one for the Howards, that people just want to know the deep geek stuff. And I tell them about a podcast I read, or I listened to, or a video I saw. And there are people like that. They really want to know, so doers, Howard, liars, it's important, be a Howard, you want to know how.
Is there gonna be a walking group get started somewhere?
I started a walking group at Twinsburg a couple months ago. And in an track, you teach people how to walk efficiently, the stuff you got in the walking program, on how your gait's important, how you swing around, all that stuff.
Go to Beechwood?
I did that, well, it wasn't enough interest.
Oh,
So they
I think
dropped.
they didn't advertise right, something's.
You gotta understand what motivates, what motivates companies are different. This is a senior center, right? They're only interested in stuff to help seniors. They figure you're all walking. They have a walking group. But do they want to go to the point where they teach you how to walk better? That's something that they're not everybody's interested in.
No.
Rec centers don't give a hoot about that, so I'll tell you that right now.
No, they don't.
They all care about the dollars. They want you paying your membership to
Correct.
come in and use the facility. You're better off to see programs like this. And here, that's why I brought this class here. To people who want to know a little bit more of why it's important to do this stuff. It's hard to get everywhere, so I'm trying to take this, I'm gonna put this online as an online program within the next year. I have my web guy working on it, so I can take all this stuff and put it online. It'll be self-paced, walk yourself through the program. And since you're all going through it, you'll get access to that, so you'll be able to go through it all once it's all done. It takes a long time to do this stuff. I want it to be on there so that you can access it and learn and go over these things. All the videos I'm making will all get put into there. And it'll be in an evergreen program as well, where it'll all be available. And then I can get into more, somebody says, they've been through this class, either on their own, I'll still do it live, because there's a benefit to these kind of programs live, as opposed to just an online program. Some people like that, some people prefer this. So you have to still do both.
Sorry, I just moved
So
over.
what makes us special?
So we ready?
Because we have the.
No, because you want to be here, it makes you special, because a lot of people aren't here,
Thank
right?
you.
How many people were here the first class compared to now? So people just found it's hard to get here. Schedules are a problem, I know, the first Monday of every month. First Monday of every month, live here at noon. I try to do it that way so you can plan ahead, but if people aren't here, there's a reason why. And it could be their
So what's the paper got through, because I didn't plan.
Yeah, I plan.
They're not planning. I gave you the first Monday of the month. You can plan ahead now for the next 8 months. There you go. Even though it was only 2 months at a time, that's the way they do things around here.
It'll be.
It wasn't relayed that this was a longer than a 2-month program, but that's.
Yeah, I didn't.
Because I wanted it to be slow enough that you had time to take it and digest it and implement it. So that you should be all working on your fitness program, right? You got all the information. You start the walking program as part of fitness. You got it. We had a fitness plan. I gave you my example. This is what's on my fitness plan that I'm doing for the year. Then the walking program. So you should be working on those things. So then when you get down the road, it's not like if you wait till the whole thing's done and say, okay, now I'm going, you ain't gonna do it.
No,
If
it's
you
too
start one
overwhelming.
program a little bit at a time,
Yeah.
you're gonna build it up, because now you're gonna build that habit. Starting from a little bit of information. You get too much, it's overwhelming, I know. I see it in people's eyes, they go,
Yeah, right.
So I'm trying to prevent that, so we thought we'd try it in this format to see how it works. And see, by just giving out a little bit at a time, some people like it that way, as opposed to just taking the whole, here's a book, go at it. But some people like that, so. All right, very good.